Alright, it's time for some more beginner maps, and I'm going to go through a couple by FalseBaphomet to start off with. Again, these will be beginner maps. I'll comment through, just talk about what I like, what could be improved. Please don't take any of my comments too harshly. I just love seeing people making Doom maps and just advising on what can be done to improve them. So here we are. We're in a fairly plain first room to start off with, although it is great that it's not just a square. You've got the angles going on, you've got a bit of a corner. What you could do to spruce up the room is put a couple of panels in the wall, some sunken computer consoles, lower the ceiling a bit, you know, just make it interesting. You could put a different texture in between the support textures as well. For the door, usually I like recessing the door a little so it doesn't look flush with the wall, and just making another sector very small, very thin, 8 map units or whatever, and just pushing it backwards, and that also gives you the chance to lower the ceiling of the inset texture a bit so the door doesn't look like it's disappearing into the ceiling. Alright. You can also, if you set the flag, I've forgotten what it's called, lower texture unpegged. If you set lower texture unpegged on the inside of these door tracks, then they'll draw from the bottom up instead of the top down, which means that they won't move like this when the door's open and closed. That's a little detail that usually it's quite satisfying to do that. Alright, we are in view of the red key. Okay, and that reveals some enemies. And they were already awake because the crate allowed a noise to pass it, because it's not. Oh Jesus! It's not a. It's not a complete wall, and I think that was a decent surprise actually. That's a decent trap. You lower the red key right away, but you also have troubles with monsters. All right, let's get this lost soul again and stop getting the ouch face. Ah, you see here. This is just a little interesting detail in the room that it's got this this lowered section. You could put a different floor and ceiling texture there and alter the light level or whatever you like. We got the red key. If I die on a map this small, I'm going to be so embarrassed. Ah, yes, look at this. This is some nice experimentation with ceiling heights varying in the same room. And, you know, use of the computer console texture. That's great. And is that going to be the exit? That is going to be the exit. Short and sweet first map. Okay, heading into the second one. These aren't actually the same wads, but I did fiddle with them a bit so that I could just load them together. If you do need help doing that, just mention how, because if you're using GZ Doom Builder or one of its various elements in this big family tree, you can open map encounter. How do you do it in GZ? I don't know how you do it in GZ Doom Builder. Slade! That's what you want. Alright, experimenting with more chaotic, less orthogonal things, lines, that's the word. Maybe I should retire from this. Okay. But yeah, that's a nice little rip at toxic waste. Okay. Yeah, the rooms are definitely getting more adventurous with not being straight lines or diagonal lines. And some panels on the wall sticking out rather than being recessed. This is a bit of an unusual choice for a door texture. It's not disastrous, because obviously it looked like a door to me. You could definitely experiment with changing height more, because both of these maps, they've been really flat. There's been ups and downs in them, but the base floor level is very flat. That was an example of when you don't want to use the lower unpegged flag, because it looked like the texture was scrolling, or rather the floor was erasing the texture as it went down, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Alright. Ah, okay. So yeah, that was a hidden wall that opened when elsewhere in the map. That's That's definitely a sign of learning how to place traps like this, and the same for here. That's nice. Okay, so the blue... I got the blue key, that's the blue door. And that's lowered now, okay. I don't remember hitting a switch to lower that, but it is possible I'm just stupid. That was probably it, wasn't it? Okay. I usually like having some indication as to what a switch does. In this case, this is quite well placed, because you could have a window that leads from that switch into this room. You could have bars on the window, you don't have to let the player go through it or anything. But it would let the player see what the switch does immediately, so they know they have to come back here. And of course you could then open this wall, open that wall, and have some more monsters pour out. Alright, is that the end? That is the end! Okay, 2 very short maps, very short video. But I think those maps both show a lot of promise. I think the second one already learning lessons from the first and building on them. I think definitely things to concentrate on are varying your floor heights throughout the map, making some stairs between rooms and making the map a bit interesting that way. But you've got the hang of switches, you've got the hang of monster closets, and good luck with making more maps in the future. I hope you continue.